recently there was some information on social media the last couple of weeks about cameras. All right. So fact or fiction. All right. Prime is going to start recording the inside of drivers' cabs with video available to see through from fleet managers, IT, safety department, etc. Fact or fiction?
Fiction.
Fiction. There you go. Fiction. Good job. Good job, Jessica. That is fiction. You know, we are testing some products here coming up this week. We do plan to test some inward-facing AI technology. We don't plan to capture any video of you driving, of you doing whatever you do on the inside of your truck. We won't be capturing any of that video, but we are testing some inward-facing tech. We've been piloting different camera systems for the better part of a year, and we put out crumbs about a year ago talking about cameras. As Daryl mentioned and as Robert mentioned, it was never our intention to have inward-facing cameras, but we owe it to our drivers to be best in class and give you best in class resources to be the safest and most profitable driver you can be.
Hey guys, and welcome to Trucking Along with Kearsey. That's me, your positive voice in trucking. I wanted to give you an update on what I'm finding out about these cameras, not only from my own former students that have had them installed the past month or so. I'm getting some feedback from emails and comments and stuff like that. And not all of these comments are negative. There's actually a couple positive comments that I found of stories where the cameras actually help the driver. And I think that's what we kind of got to focus on here. Now, I'm going to play a couple scenes from the safety meeting where they said that we weren't going to be punitive, but I wanted you to see that here's a story from one of my subscribers. This is what he had to say. I had a trainee stand up while the truck was moving and picked a physical fight with me because it, quote unquote, wasn't my business that he, the trainee, was speeding and not keeping the truck in the lane, not checking mirrors, not pay attention to the signs, etc. He pulled a knife on me, and I didn't even notice until the police officer showed me the babysitter cam footage. I knew I blocked him when he swung at me, but I didn't know he had a knife, and I unwittingly disarmed him. I left him on the side of the highway only with the clothes on his back, not even his cell phone or the knife, for that matter. The trainee ended up fired, arrested, and last I knew, he was still locked up. The driver-facing camera sealed his fate and proved he was a liar. And in this case, it also protected the trainer that's had this on his truck for, I want to say, about 3 or 4 weeks now. And it dinged him a couple times the first couple days as he was getting used to it. And then that was it. So this week, he really hasn't had it say anything. It's not making him uncomfortable. He forgets about it. Some of this is driver accountability. We do stupid stuff out here, and I keep saying over and over that we have to really, really take our job seriously. And I'm going to play a video from G.I. Joe Trucker. Okay. And he talks about accountability.
Listen, I'm not defending Prime in any way or whatsoever, but in the video that they mentioned about with the in-facing cameras, one thing that people are forgetting about, I mean, even though everybody is highlighting everything else, but one thing that they're trying to do is, listen, in order for us to get the freight that we want to pay y'all the highest rate per load or whatever and everything, is that, listen, our customers are looking at our CSA scores, and not only Prime don't trust you, but it's their customers not trusting you. You know, you're getting service failures, you're not getting to your deliveries on time, and also you're wrecking the equipment. So it's these customers, and Prime, they they got, and not just Prime, a lot of these other companies, y'all got big money. Y'all got big money customers, like, you know, Walmart Refrigerated to the JBS carriers with the meat, and then on the flatbed side, you know, whatever, John Deere and all that. So their customers is demanding, you know, a little bit transparency in order for them to, you know, hire, you know, people like, you know, companies like Prime or whatever, lease or any other carrier, in order for them to pay them the rate they need a lot more transparency about, you know, hey, what's going on with the driver.
They can negotiate better rates if they're showing the customers we have better CSA scores, if they're showing the customers that, you know, we're better drivers. You know, one of the things that Prime does is they want us all to have TWIC cards. They want us all to have hazmat. Why is that? Because if they can show that the customers that a certain percentage of us have that type of security, then they're saying our drivers have credibility. Our drivers get places on time. Our drivers take life seriously. And I don't want to pick on people that might have some kind of a background that would prevent them from having TWIC cards, but a lot of us do stupid things and we make bad mistakes and bad choices, and that can follow you in different parts of your life. It can make it look like you have bad judgment. And I've had inward facing cameras for nearly a decade. I've had good experiences and bad experiences most of the time, 99% of the time. It won't affect you as long as you don't do anything stupid, particularly if it's nothing major or you just have multiple small issues. Just don't let the camera be your problem. And that is one thing that I'm finding, that one of my former students has the camera and he is more distracted by the camera. So this comment goes on to say, it is not just on the driver, it's also on who is evaluating the driver on the video. It's also a question of, does the one judging the driver really understand the life of a trucker? And unfortunately, the answer in most of these companies is, you know, we do have we do have several dispatchers who and in-house personnel who have been drivers previously, but most aren't. So they're not going to, you know, we're putting our trust in the hands of people that have never done our job. And we have to rely on the fact that we're not going to be terminated for these infractions, that we're not even completely sure what the infractions are, because Prime's not completely sure what the infractions are yet. If they gave us a Q&A in our Prime phone app. So if you haven't seen that, go to the news section of your Prime mobile app. First thing we all thought of was Cyberdyne. So we're all going to get taken over by Terminator. And I'm just expecting that when I turn off the truck, the voice is going to say,
"I'll be back."
Another guy wrote on here, cameras aren't that bad. I've been driving with them since 2017. Prime brought them in late. I never drove for Prime, and I was surprised to hear that they're just installing them now. The AI isn't as bad as you think either. Just don't touch your phone. Set up everything before you take off. Put your playlist together as part of your trip planning. And most importantly, do not under any circumstances drive tired. If you feel you're nodding, pull over. And I would say message dispatch, let them know, put it in writing, don't call. That way it's documented. That Qualcomm, that messaging, that's legal documentation. So you can pull that up for court records or whatever later. If they fire you for drowsy driving, that is almost the same as having a DUI on your record. It made it hard for me to get hired anywhere after JB Hunt terminated me for being drowsy and swerving. Avoid overnight driving if you can. But it's not bad, you guys. Well, he said y'all. I say yous guys. Don't let it run you out of the game. Just adapt.
With real data points, we'll be able to know who our safest driver is every day, every week, every month, every quarter, every year, over a 7-year million-mile period. So no more arbitrary awards.
Davis, the head of Prime Safety Department, talks about the gamification. And so what it's doing is it's starting you out with 1,000 points every day. And as you commit infractions, then it reduces your points. As you improve your driving throughout the day, your points go up. So one person told me that they ran a stop sign. And it was basically a rolling stop. It was coming out of a truck stop or something, and it was a rolling stop sign. And it dinged him 300 points out of the 1,000. But then later in the day, as he was increasing following distance and things like that, it added more points to him. So in this example, this person, it's got April 29th through May 5th. And then up top, it says your green zone score. Check the green zone page for more insights. Now, also understand that any kind of video footage, any kind of event that's created will go to your phone app. So you will get the same video that the fleet manager is going to get. And one thing that I'm going to say that I was really upset thinking that the fleet managers were going to be bogged down with more work, that they were just going to get bombarded with all these messages from drivers. And I actually spoke to 2 different fleet managers this week. True that most of their fleet does not have this camera yet, but the trucks that do is not sending any kind of major amounts of these things, of these incidents, of these videos to them. You know, I was concerned because I'm sitting here thinking, first off, I like my fleet managers. I do. And I already think that they're stressed. Last year, Prime moved a lot of fleet managers around. They were shuffling fleets onto different people and that sort of thing. So, uh, there was a lot of stress. And when they did that and they were combining fleets, it gave the fleet managers more drivers than they had before, which also meant that they basically consolidated the fleets. So, uh, the fleets that they have now have more drivers than they had in the past. And some of those drivers were new to that particular fleet manager. So that takes some time for the drivers to get to know the fleet managers to understand how we drive, because we all drive completely differently. I'm not going to drive the same way you are, or, the next person. You give 100 drivers a way to get from LA to New York, and you got 100 different ways with 100 different truck stops with 100 different times that they're going to stop and hours that they're going to stop and break lengths and things like that. So, uh, so I had asked the fleet managers if they were bogged down, and they told me no, that they were actually pleasantly surprised that this system, for the most part, is proving that our drivers are fairly decent. you know, when you have rookie drivers or people are tired, yeah, you're going to have make more mistakes than maybe you would. Um, and sometimes, experienced drivers, we can become complacent too. You just get comfortable and relaxed. And somebody once told me that everything happens at the second mark, on the second anniversary, if you will. So, after you've been out on the road for 2 weeks, you're more relaxed than you were the first week. Once you're out for 2 months, you're more relaxed. Once you hit that 2-year mark, people become even more relaxed. So, as you feel comfortable, you can actually uh, become very overconfident, which could cause issues. So, this driver from April 29th to May 5th had 1,010 points. I really don't know exactly how he could have gone over the the 1,000 point uh, thing at the beginning of the day, but as people are sending me screenshots of this, and yes, this one I stole off of Facebook, but as I'm seeing people post these things up, they are over 1,000 points, and you're starting with 1,000. So in general, they're actually better throughout the day. So this particular one says your rank out of 113 drivers, this person's rank was number 4 out of 113 drivers. Then it says driver stars 5. I'm not sure what the heck that means. Like they say, oh, you're going to get stars like we're in kindergarten. I think that's stupid. But what I think is going to happen is they are going to eliminate our Safe Miles awards because now we don't have a choice but to be safe. With this gamification, they're going to rank us. So instead of giving arbitrary awards like the Million Mile Award, okay, so they're going to change the safety ratings. They're going to change the million miles. They're going to, because right now at Prime, you get a jacket, you get, a plaque on your wall, and they were giving out um, a crystal desktop award, and depending on what level you are, sometimes they get cash. They have a big banquet, an award ceremony banquet every year. And so, they make a big deal about it. And now that looks like that might be changing. We all also get weekly safety bonuses. It doesn't come out the much, like $25, $26 a week, but that's still $26 a week. With the economy the way it is, that will just about pay for a McDonald's meal. you know um so then if you see at the bottom it says total alerts generated 0. So this particular driver had 0 alerts. Now that alert means what went back to his fleet manager, if I'm understanding this correctly. So it might have said to him, you know distraction warning, like face your eyes forward type of thing. And then when he corrected it, it stopped. It didn't do that anymore. So that's what I'm seeing here. That's what I'm gathering here. Thank you very much for making it to the end. I appreciate every single one of you. Please comment down below. Let me know your experiences with these cameras. If you are a Prime driver, then please let me know how things are working with you. Is it as bad as what you thought? Comment, like, subscribe, share the video, and I hope to see you out here trucking along. Bye.